I want to make sure everything is ready before I get to running my mother trucking mouth.
Paging Dr. Moist Twatkins. Moist Twatkins, are you in the building? Didn't you say that there were only a sliver of black women who do the things I talk about? Well, Dr. Moist Twatkins, wouldn't you be able to then say Tommy would run out of material correctly? Right, sir. Wouldn't that what happen? Like if we wanted to say there's only a sliver of racism in America, then you wouldn't be able to do a show every day where you could talk about 10 different incidences of racism in America, now could you? But you claim there's only a sliver of black women who do stuff like, beat up an Applebee's waitress, stab the Applebee's waitress, rob the Applebee's waitress, then waddle your fat ass out like ain't nothing happened. Oh, you didn't see this, Dr. Moist Twatkins? Well, let me do you a favor and break some news.
But I just want to ask the question. Is the government paying black women to be irresponsible and destroy their children? I want you to think about it. Is the government actually paying black women to go out and be irresponsible and destroy their children's lives? And the reason I ask this question is because men don't get paid for this. Men don't get paid to fuck women and knock them up. They're only paying one group, women. Women are the only ones who are incentivized for being irresponsible. Men are not.
She can look like the Negro Barbie with her kin, aka Jamarquavius. Now it's funny because they don't even understand what they're doing. Now imagine, black women get to raise little girls, and little girls get to go to schools in America because we're only 13%. So the majority of schools that they go to will be integrated, and they will have white girls in there with long blonde hair, long brown hair, long red hair, and they can throw it over their shoulders. And the little black girl will have 2 plaits on this side and 1 plait in the back. And she'll go home and she'll see her mom with golden blonde hair doing it like this and being on flick on Instagram. But black women don't believe this hurts their children psychologically at all. Because they're so selfish, they don't give a shit about their kids. Well, let's move back onto this process that's going to make you really feel good about what you see. Because white women, after you see this, and all other races of women, after you see this, you're going to realize you're so much more superior than black women that they're willing to do the most disgusting things to just look kind of like you. After they've gotten their hair done with this sew-in, there's another process they can use, and it's called a lace front. A lace front has gotten so sophisticated that it comes with skin on the front of it. So what they do is it's like a cap or a hair hat. And they put this hat on, just like I put this hat over my head, and they sit it right there. And then they use this hot glue and glue it to their scalps. All the way around their ears. It even comes with a fall part in it, a fake part. A part that they argue looks like a real part, but they will put it again over their natural hair. They also wear wigs, and they do this too. Now, in the process of doing these things, they're trying to achieve something that's a little bit different than what you're doing when you wear extensions. There's a product that white girls wear. It's called these extensions. I forgot what it's called. But what they do is they put it on, and at the end of the day, they just take this little band off, and they take it off, and they shake their head. But let me tell you about black women. When black women get sew-ins, guess when they take it out? 3, 6, 9, or sometimes 1 year from when it's installed. That's right. Black women will take somebody else's hair, DNA or synthetic, sew it in their hair with their underneath hair there, and they will leave that thing in their head for months on end. It's gotten so bad that several times you've seen national stories, if you haven't, you can look, national stories of black women having mold in their hair. There was one where a guy took a videotape of a black woman with these like maggots in her hair, and she didn't even know it. And he was on the train and he's filming it, and they're little bugs walking around in her hair. Black women's hair is so nasty, white women and non-white people, non-black people, that you will watch them. If you haven't seen it, black women will do their hair like this because it's itching. Now let me ask you something, white women. Would you put something in your head that's going to make you do this all day because your head is itching?
Once again, Authentic Alphas with your host, Ayindei, and I'm going to give you somebody right here that shouldn't need any introduction, but it is your boy Tommy. Sotomayors.
What's going on,
what's up, brother? Listen,
chilling.
It's just a wonderful thing to see you, and I was telling you a little bit earlier how we view you. We appreciate that you standing up, and you saying a lot of things that we just aren't necessarily allowed to say, and there's a lot of things that need to be said. And I feel like the criticism of the black community from articulate brothers is coming from a good place. I feel like it's coming from a place of love, and we want to see some correction. And the fact that we're not allowed to have these conversations, I feel like it's stifling that correction, that course correction. So when I saw you out here, I said, I got to talk to the brother and just hear it from your own mouth how you feel about it, being that you've dealt with it, you know what I'm saying, in the past.
Well, the hardest part about it is to have a discussion where you're having truths being spoken. The people have to want to hear them and want to heed to them. And most people are so stuck in their ways of how they think, how they feel, and how they act, that if you ever challenge that, that's challenging their core being. That's challenging their mother, what their mother taught them, what their grandmother taught them. Hell, in some cases, their great-grandmothers. So you're not going to shake someone's core like that without them fighting back against it, because they're having to question their entire existence. And many of us are having to question our entire existence if someone says, you know, your mother wasn't always right. Well, you were told your mother's always right. Your mother was told that her mother was always right. And this is generational. So it becomes very difficult at that point to have that discussion with that person, because they're fighting against you saying their whole existence was false.
Well, I'm a brother, you know what I'm saying, trying to get into it, trying to get better at delivering the message without them killing the messenger. So you got me by about 7 years, you know what I'm saying? I just turned 40. So I'm just getting there. And I feel like at my age, I should be able to talk about some motherfucking issues. I just feel like it. You know what I'm saying? 4 decades on this planet. I've been in the hood. I've been in the suburbs. I've been all over. I went to private schools, white schools, black schools, whole 9 yards. So I feel like I should be able to speak about some topics. So what I'm going to ask you is, definitely there's an absence of the dominant black male in the black community. And I feel like, why is it that we can fall under this matriarchy and we can let women tell their version of it and give their advice and say this is how it is and whatnot? How do we as men get our voices heard to our own people? Why is it that we can't speak? We grown-ass men.
You got to get to the point where you say the message is worth more than the things you can either try and harm or the things around me that you're going to try to take away from me. Once you get to the point where you say this message is so important and I'm not going to back down because someone tells me I can't say it because I'm a man, that I should put up with it because this is a woman, because those are usually the issues you're dealing with. Someone's telling you societal norms preclude you from doing that which you're about to do. We have to make it a revolutionary act now, just like they did with the gays and the trans and all of that. If they're willing to stand out and knowing that they feel uncomfortable doing so, or that society tells them not to do it, then we as men who are the creators of society, we should be the first ones to stand up and say, wait a minute, if we're the protection, if it's our job, the creator and the protector of this thing that you're looking for equal rights with, then we should be the first people that you at least listen to let you know something's going wrong.
Right.
Because what we're doing now is we're just sounding the alarm. And it's not that we think we're better than somebody else or we think that they're horrible people. We're saying that why not tell you to stop now? Because there's a cliff right there, and if we keep going this path, we're going over.
You're going over that cliff. Right. And it's like, okay, so how do we speak frankly, honestly, and openly about our women without being accused of hating those very same women? I'm about tired of being told I hate my mama. We have a great relationship, always have. So I'm about tired of that accusation being thrown at me. You hate your mama. It's like, listen, when I bring my white women to meet the family, you know, my mother's there, right? you get what I'm saying? So I don't, you know, she understands. You get what I'm saying? So how do we get better at speaking about this publicly? Because I'm getting much, much better at speaking to black women on the one-on-one. I'm getting much better at speaking to them kind of in the private. But how are we able to have this discussion openly and publicly is what I'm getting at. So I want to know, like, have you gotten any better at it? Are you at a comfortable place with it?
Unity with the people who feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
See, as long as they got those cracks in their armor, there's always these simps or white knights that's going to come in and make them feel like the people who are talking are outliers.
Yeah, like we're wrong.
Yeah, and then when you have the people who actually do it, they don't even get together and show a united front. See, when women want to talk about how men ain't shit, excuse the French,
They unify real quick.
yeah, exactly. They have no problem with it, and then they'll go off and do their little sub fighting later. But on this issue, they're united.
They're together. You're right on that.
The men, I don't know why it isn't. Like when you asked me to come to stop and talk to you, why wouldn't I do it?
You saw a brother.
Yeah, I don't understand why I would see anything other than let's help each one get up there. Because I say it this way, I use this analogy. Black people are kind of like the bowling pins. You have one in the front, two behind that, and then you keep going, and it's like a Christmas tree. But the way the game works is what? If I take that one ball and hit the front pin just right, what happens to the rest of
They
them?
all gonna fall.
But what we need is not that, because there's always some black person that wants to lead.
We need the reverse.
Yeah, we need to have a long line. So if you knock one down, we're still coming. We're still going ahead.
Right.
The whole idea behind the 300 that I loved is that the principle and what they were fighting for mattered more than their own lives. Until we get there of the people, it might only be 300 of us.
And I kind of can see that with your situation, because when I used to watch your channel a lot, that shit was super taboo back then. Like, you were one of, like, if not maybe the only person at a time that had that much of an audience to say those things. And I feel like that kind of, in a sense, kind of makes you before your time a little bit. Because now the brothers are kind of starting to have this conversation as a group a little bit more, rather just one dude out here saying these radical things that sound so hateful, you know what I'm saying, to black. And then it's like, oh, well, you separate yourself from the black community. Says who? Because I don't live there anymore, I'm separated? If I'm still thinking about and talking about these issues, how am I separated? If that was the case, I wouldn't open my mouth, never to talk about it.
There's no reason for me to talk about that. Which I tell people the opposite of love is not hate. So when you think if I hate you, that means I'm absent. You look for something that says I'm absent of feeling. What am I absent of feeling if I was feeling? Apathy. Right. I'm apathetic towards you. I don't hate you. I'm indifferent. I don't give a shit. And people who speak out, they're not indifferent. So maybe they should understand it. I do not love you if I speak out about it, because apparently something is making me want to see you do better.
You're not allowed to do the interview within the mall.
Oh, we weren't?
Yeah, you have to have some type of mob.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to take you a little bit longer.
No, sir. Yeah.
You know, I'd rather ask for forgiveness. So I was like, I'll ask for forgiveness if I get you a good. All right, but listen, I appreciate the time. I appreciate you stopping.
Thank you so much, man.
It means the world. And then he was here with a beautiful sister. I got to make a quick confession. I got to apologize. I was shocked because I believe in what they were saying. So when I saw you, I was like, hold on, that can't be Tommy, because he ain't supposed to be with that. He supposed to hate black women, right?
Well, that's why you got to tell people. You have to get to know more about a person than what the 5, 10, 15-minute clip says. So, I mean, we all are layered people. So we got to talk about the layer. They about to come over here and try to kick us out.
Hey, listen, hey, man, go Heat. Enjoy the Heat game, right? And then listen, enjoy your evening. Thank you for stopping. Sorry for holding them up and everything, take up your time. But listen, y'all get out here. I'm about to go to jail for you, though. I'm about to go to jail. Hey, it is what it is, man. That was your boy Tommy. He said what he said, man. These things got to be said. Somebody got to say it, bro. Somebody got to take the bullet, bro. So I'm willing to put it on the line for it because I believe in it. I love my people. I love my beautiful black sisters and all that too. But guess what? Until y'all act right, I ain't going to date you. And I'm going to keep telling the truth, man. Let's fix some problems. Let's keep on working, fellas. Peace.